So I've got a line on it, but now I've got to ask a favor.
What's that?
Can I borrow your new truck?
How much?
Hi there, and welcome to the Rural Juror Brewery Tour.
I wasn't talking money.
I'm Jay,
I'm Seth.
and today we're going to talk about double IPAs.
Double IPAs.
Yes, which doesn't mean that we're going to have more than one IPA. What it means is that we're having double, like this in itself is a double IPA. Do you know what a double IPA is?
I do.
Go ahead and tell us.
Double IPA actually is, in North America, they actually call it double IPA. In Europe, they actually call it Imperial.
Yep.
Do you know why in North America they call it double IPA?
Anti-royal sentiment.
It's a good idea. It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
But the idea of Imperial, India Pale Ale, II, so double I,
Okay.
PA. So they just call it double IPA. But it actually just stands for IIPA.
So like those other imperial beers, like the imperial stouts, which are higher alcohol content, we're likely to get a higher alcohol content in this.
That's right. So yeah, there's more malts in this, which gives it more natural sugars, which gives us more alcohol.
Does that mean it's going to taste alcoholic?
No, it should not. Hopefully,
Oh, okay.
they might though.
Well, today we're going to start off with another London, Ontario brewery. This is the Double Lunatic Fridge, not Fringe, Fridge, as in refrigerator, from Toboggan Brewing in London.
Now, do you know the song, the music,
No,
Did that
please,
song-
please sing.
the Lunatic Fridge?
Please sing.
It's from
Yeah,
Red
that's
Rider.
talking. Please sing.
Lunatic Fringe, I know that you're out there. It's Tom Cochran in Red Rider,
Awesome.
but it's Lunatic Fridge, not Fringe.
Okay.
But this is double, so it's twice as good. You can see, so the color's nice and dark.
It is a darker color of beer there for sure.
You still get lots of the hops though, but you can get a little bit of that
It's
malt.
got that dank smell right off the top.
Yeah.
It doesn't overpower though in the smell.
No.
No. This looks pretty good. Actually, that doesn't taste too strong at all. That's very well-rounded and pleasant. That's an easy drinker.
That's an excellent double IPA.
That's a dangerous beer.
Yeah, usually they're I find them either just a little bit too bitter, or there's that alcohol flavor coming through.
Or the hops are just overpowering the
Yes.
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Who knows?
is,
We might see that later.
we might, but this one is very nice. Good
Yeah.
job. Nice work.
Toboggan Brewing is located here in London, Ontario, as I mentioned, and it's on the main strip of bars downtown. They have the brewery on site and a great restaurant with this sledding theme. For any international viewers, a toboggan is a sled, for like riding on the snow.
In the snow,
Yeah,
because it's Canada.
right.
Winter.
Well, obviously, here we are in t-shirts in the snow.
You can see the snow.
Please refer back to episode, I think it was 4, where it started snowing in the
Actually,
middle of
it
the
was
episode.
snow,
That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really nice beer. I gotta tell you, most of the time Toboggan tends to play it safe with their flavors. This is probably the best flavor with some strength to it that I've gotten from their beers. I'm really enjoying this one. And
Me
when you
too.
said
Wow.
7%, my brain went, well, that's not very strong at all for a double IPA. And it's kind of just on that borderline of not being
Yeah.
strong enough for it, but it tastes great, and it doesn't taste like a strong beer.
No, it
Even
does
though it
not.
literally says on the can, strong beer, strong
right.
beer.
Yeah. No, this is excellent.
Victory is mine.
That's okay. I talked a lot on that one.
You did, and I let you.
Yeah, it was good. You were just sucking me in. Not like that. Although, if you do want the truck.
All right.
Our second beer today is the Destroyer. The Destroyer by Falcon Brewery. Jay, where did you get this one?
So Falcon Brewing is in Ajax, Ontario, which is just east of Toronto. And Falcon Brewing is just in a little industrial area there. Never been before.
He did 2 of these. It was fun.
I've never been there before, but I saw the sign off the highway and I was like, drive over. Did that this time, but on the larger scale. Did you see that?
But you did one of those too.
Oh, well, So I drove over there and I pulled up and I'm like, wow, they've got 9 beers?
Wow, really?
Yeah. And so I brought 2 of all of them home, and this is one of them.
Wow.
Yes.
7.8. It's a double IPA. IBU of 90, it says.
Yeah, that's a lot of hop flavor.
The can reminds me of the GoBots. And you might say, no, you mean Transformers. No, I mean the terrible knockoffs of GoBots. because this doesn't look like a Transformer. It looks like a GoBot.
And for those of you who are a little more with it and don't live in the 1980s, he's talking about a Gundam.
A what?
Gundam. Yeah.
I try to cover that up. This is a family show.
Well, you know, I have a small square of fabric you could use that for.
You still want
Oh,
my...
look at the color. It's pouring a caramel color. Or caramel, whichever you prefer.
Caramel.
Check that color out.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a nice, deep, rich, almost brown color.
Wow. Well, 7.8, so there's a lot more malt in there. There's another...
Evidently.
So almost a whole % more than the one we just had.
Yeah.
So a lot more malt.
I'm not getting much... Actually, I'm getting a little caramel on the nose.
Yeah. And that's coming from the malt. Yeah, this is a lot more malty.
Ooh, there's a lot more flavor here.
Yeah, there is. There's still a good amount of hops, but it's not overpowering. The malt certainly takes over.
I'm getting some sweet finish to it.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to get. The hops aren't the first thing I'm tasting. I'm getting more malt than hops on this.
Yeah, and that's not surprising. But you can still, there's still a good aroma.
I'm just hit with the color of this beer. It's so caramelly. The caramel flavor is just so strong there, but I'm not getting anything that's overpowering it.
No.
A hint of sweet, and it's so well balanced. It's not giving me that flavor that makes you want to take a lighter and go and shoot fire out.
It's interesting that there's still so much sweetness when it's that kind of alcohol.
Mm-hmm. I like the name Falcon Brewing.
That's a good name.
It's a bird of power.
It is.
And they got the logo on top with the wings and
the font is very just angry looking.
Yeah, that's a powerful label. It's a powerful logo. Well done. Good job in the design department, Falcon Brewing, in Ajax, Ontario.
Yeah, it's interesting because this GoBot is actually destroying people. It's actually shooting people. So there's death on the
So
can.
when I went in and I bought this, I said to them, "So what can you tell me about your beers?"
It kills people.
Well, and they said, "Well, do you
doesn't.
know? Like, are you a craft beer drinker?" And I was like, "I've had a couple." And they said, "So you know what like the IBU and the ABV means?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." Well, you could see that the Destroyer has our highest IBU, so that's going to be the one that's the most aggressive on the hops. I was like, "Makes sense to me," but I'm not getting a lot of aggro on the hops here.
So far, these first two have not been what I would typically say is a double IPA. Usually, they're very super aggressive. They're very bitter. They leave a bad taste, if I can say that, in my mouth.
My impression of double IPAs is, let's take all the hops we can, let's punch you in the face with this hop, and punch you in the face with that hop, and hop, 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 hop. This is sweet and malty and well balanced and flavorful and delicious.
Very nice.
Good beer. All right, our third beer tonight is once again from Little Beasts Brewing in Whitby, Ontario. Whitby. Oshawa adjacent Whitby. Oshawa adjacent Whitby. So, I don't have a bottle opener. You wanna?
I do.
You wanna take care of this one?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. So,
Don't tell my wife.
this beer is called
Love you,
Strange Aeons, and it's that A with an E, kind A-E-O-N-S. Strange Aeons. And this is the double IPA. We're looking at 8% alcohol, so the strongest one of the three that we've tried.
What is the alcohol?
8% even.
8 point. Okay.
8.0. So this one pours a very light color, translucent.
Very straw.
A lot of head on that one.
Yellow. Yeah, it's very carbonated.
Yeah.
Bubbles.
But you don't see that in the body. I guess you see the micro bubbles there. As before with Little Beasts Brewing, they have some beautiful art. So there you can obviously see Cthulhu's having a nice day.
Yeah.
The Mountains of Madness.
That's a great fucking art piece.
They've got
there.
some excellent artwork on their bottles. And now that I've got a whole bunch of different bottles, I get to appreciate them all. They're fantastic.
Yeah, that is second to none right there.
So let's talk about the beer. Oh, it has a fresh head.
Very floral.
Fresh head. It has
Lots of.
I don't know if I'm getting floral. I'm getting citrus.
I'm getting both. I'm getting citrus and I'm getting floral.
I'm also getting a little body odor. Is that you?
That's just because you want my truck.
That's probably it. Oh, a little spice in the finish. Yeah, and I'm getting a little bit of grapefruit juice on it, but that's subtle. But there's definitely spice in there for me. You getting that?
Yeah, see, for me, that's interesting. For me, this tastes what I would be more apt to say would be a regular double IPA. Most of the double IPAs that I've tasted taste like this. They're very strong. This is a very strong flavor. Lots of citrus. I'm not getting a whole lot of malt, although the malt is there, but it's not overpowering. The hops are there, but also just that spiciness, which I think is a combination of the alcohol and the malt and different parts of the hops. And
It's very hop forward.
it is.
And that's the sort of term you use when you're talking about something where the hops are the dominant flavor in it.
And I'm getting some of the yeast too, actually. Like that.
Are you?
Yeah. Some of the yeast. I'm getting that on at the end of the flavor. The first two that we tried today, I could drink those. Those were very approachable, very drinkable. Whereas this one, if you're not a double IPA person, this one might not be for you.
I'm really glad I'm drinking this one because that hint of spice is something. And when I'm tasting beers, that's what I'm always looking for. I don't want something else. I want a unique spin on whatever it is. So a unique spin on the stout because it has a little chipotle in it, like that 2 episodes ago. Or a wheat beer that has a little more spice, or a fruit beer that has a secondary flavor that's in there. I want something that's unique within that genre.
For sure, but I also want to make sure that it's something that I enjoy drinking. So, I mean, there's always the one-offs where I'm like, oh, I want to try this because I haven't tried it. This one I have never tried before. So I'm happy to try it. I'm happy to have it, and I'm enjoying the beer. I'm enjoying the label. I'm enjoying everything about the brewery that I've tried so far. It's an excellent spot. But again, I also want to be able to just have a beer and just sit back and enjoy it. This one is not as much of an enjoyable drink as the first two that we had today. Yeah, this one reminds me of those
3 out of 3. Yes, it is. You're saying.
You're still not getting my job.
Are you getting a little flavor of fish out of this?
Like,
Go into it with the mentality of fish.
Sounds like my first
No,
time.
go into... I don't know what to say to that. I mean, I don't know your baseball coach, but go ahead.
It was
Taste the damn beer and tell me you're not tasting a little bit of freshwater fish in there.
You're right. It is the beer with the great taste of fish.
Fish.
Of fish.
Fish and brow.